The knife round, it seems. Seeing what sides people are going to be able to achieve, and then we'll be deciding from there. They will be knifing the sides, obviously. I mean, we sort of touched on it, obviously. If OpTic do get that T side, that's where they can be a little bit more aggressive with the rifles.
Yeah, it's probably their best chance of getting a good momentum-based start to their game. If they're starting CT side, getting money kind of screwed over, losing a lot of rounds, their kind of whole game plan is going to go out the window in terms of momentum. They're going to feel down. They're like, what do we do? And then they've got to rely on in-game leading that they don't really have the best in-game leader to do.
Yeah.
So let's see what they can pull out. Who won the knife round?
OpTic did take the win on the knife there, so obviously just deciding what they want to go for. I mean, that's the thing, obviously, that CT side, you need a lot of reliant on aim, but you also need that teamwork there. On this map, it's a lot more inflated as well because there's so many slight rotations you need to do. There's so many easy fakes that you can pull off as well.
Yeah.
And just great trickery that you can bring to the table here from your T side. So it's a lot of adapting on the fly and working with really great communication that could be an issue that they don't really have just yet, obviously, with Hayes coming back in there trying to restructure them and obviously get things adapted to a more playstyle that he is fond of. Whereas with North, they're going to have that in the bag. They're going to be able to just hold their angles. I mean, they've got the aim talent as well. So you try and take a site from North, as long as they've got that crossfire held, it's going to be a real struggle to not only get that entry, but even get any of those refrags, because the trades are instant most of the time with North. They're very quick at getting those refrags.
And they go in with numbers, like you said. They don't really give anything away for free. You'll probably just see maybe one player solo, maybe lurking drop area. Probably going to be config, trying to just make plays on his own, maybe AZ. But again, like I said, a lot of the time they're going 4 men into a site with a 2-man split. So trades both ways, and they're overwhelming with numbers onto one site. Incredibly hard to hold.
And that's the thing, I mean, sort of the classic play, obviously, Uncle was saying, is just how many pincer plays you can pull off, because there are so many angles that complement each other. You know, you've got those mid to Bs towards the A bomb site, so the mids to A towards A where you split through, go through drop out a window, pincer through there, it's just so easy, and then obviously towards B as well, the split push through there. And there's so many rounds that obviously are very easy to play with. I mean, if we see, they've actually gone for the CT side start as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how it is going to unfold. But let's get into it anyway, let's break down Chris, as they are going to be going for the buy. AZ, of course, with the utility, everyone else with the armor.
It's normally MSL that gets it, so let's see what we're up to here. It's like a fast beat. They've made a lot of noise here, so they have some idea they've got players towards B. No kit on the CT side, they have to go headshots here.
They are trying to land those shots, but first of all, it's going to be Cajun B kicking off. Cajun with a second frag as well. It's Cajun and Tarek doing all the damage, but Rush will come into effect and actually try and put a stop to things before Magic bounces back. Tarek, though, he's been single-handedly keeping this round alive for the side of OpTic as they fall into a 1 versus 2. The bomb is in an awkward spot. Magic needs to try and do some damage, but hey, he slides round with a sexy shot to actually punish OpTic. They do pick up the pistol on the CT side.
Well needed round there. If the bomb did go down, they were in trouble. They managed to hold their ground there. Even in the close ranges around the drop area, it's not easy to do, but they've manned up and they've taken it with the USPs, and it's paid off for them. This is a crucial round. Again, this is almost as scary as the pistol round, if not scarier, because this is where you can give away a lot of free eco, and these M4s are very, very valuable.
They need to hold on to these rifles, try and do as much damage as they can with the UMPs and obviously the MP9s as well. Just try and rack up that additional cash into these following rounds, as they need to build that fragile CT side economy. A lot of map control already taken by North, though, so they've bursted their way down through drop down. They're going to go for that pincer play we spoke about towards the bomb site. Tarek will find the opening frag. Magic actually responds though with a deagle, but luckily enough, Naf was there to find the headshot. Oh, rush straight through the smoke as well. He's trying to do some damage here, but it's a little bit awkward, Chris. They've actually managed to gain control of the site. They forced the CTs back, and they've got the bomb down.
Yeah, just a couple simple smokes, and they've managed to cut off 3 of the CT players and isolate the 2 on the site.
Firing back as this retake does get
no HP. That's a close round. That could have easily gone either way.
Yeah, very awkward. I mean, obviously losing 2 casualties with the SMGs, not the worst case situation. They do hold on to the M4s, but even then, it did get quite close to the wire. It's a lot of damage done by North into that round. It's quite scary.
Yeah, they got the bomb plant as well, which is huge. Probably see some more deagles, P250s, maybe a couple of smokes and flashes, something similar. You're just going to get a flash explode. Try and work a deagle pick. But not a bad round overall. They'd like to see it go their way. Often that round does go their way with the Tech 9s coming out of drop. But well retake onto the B-bomb site by OpTic. This is kind of something you see all the time, that they have to go for the early info A to give you an idea of where the T's trying to head. That's a huge amount of damage done from that.
Yeah, that is a really
But
good
that's even
attack.
more damage.
Yeah, nice response there from Rush. Obviously finds the headshot back on towards Magix. Tarek is going to throw that nade out, hoping to get some splash damage off, but it's only a little bit of a brush of shrapnel on towards Config. He is holding his ground though, keeping them at bay for the meantime.
Yeah, this is the kind of player you want in this spot. You want someone not scared to take fights. Tarek's just constantly refacing, causing them problems. This is how you have to play CG side. If you give the T's too much room, too much space to get close on you, you're just going to lose 50% of the rounds.
That's the thing. Keeping that map control is really the core of Counter-Strike on that CT side. You need to try and hold it back. They are going to go for the crouch peek through, though. They're sneaking their way up. But he does
ideally, you'd like an SMG in this phase, trying to get some of this money, but Tarek's just easy round for Tarek. Just mops it up there. 1 by 1. First gun round. Now sticking with his SMG, putting a play around drop. Mixed mail with the AWP, let's see where he goes. I'd like to see him go towards A, try to get some early frags. I mean, he did it last round, he got that early info. This is the man that's going to make the difference with this weapon.
Yeah, taking that aggressive mid stance. He's scoping his way through. Of course, he's getting a lot of information on the back of this. His teammates in close proximity as well, so if they do find the opening pick, it's a huge mix-wall does get it, but towards the bomb site over at the barn, it's going to actually be Config to find the headshot back on towards Tarek. But they play it smart. They are going to back on.
Oh my god.
Config finds a secondary frag there. It finds the shot back on towards NAF. I mean, that is huge. Flashbangs go over as well. They're close by, and they know how much damage is already done towards the B site.
It's just crazy, isn't it? Mixwell gets the entry, and then Config on the other side of the map kills 2. And 1 through smoke. It's just filthy play.
See as well now, the full rotate over towards the A bomb site. They found that frag. AZ is the one to do the damage, and they've got a welcome back down. They tiptoe their whole way through. I mean, Mixwell is there with the AWP, but Mixwell's going to need to go huge if he wants to make this situation manageable from the side of OpTic.
It's that wallbang. I think it is. Nearly hit him. Yeah, they're probably just going to save these weapons unless they get a quick pick. Looking around the smokes through vents. It's such a hard bomb type to retake, especially with an AWP. You're forced to go through a smoke with one of these horrible, awkward angles.
Rush dives his way in towards the bomb site. Does actually find the opener here as he takes down Magix. Now going to tiptoe his way into the back line as well as he scopes it out. Mixwell actually finds a frag. He's got the kit to play with, so taps it to try and force the face. Mixwell lands the tag, but it's not quite the frag. He's still alive on 4 HP. Rush will flick to him and take him down just in the nick of time.
What did he let go?
He's come off the bomb.
Oh my god! That was nearly the biggest mistake of Rush's life.
I was on edge there. I really...
You see him quickly grab the bomb again. Oh my lord. I'm surprised they won the round. That's actually huge for them.
That was a massive retake.
That was a huge retake by them.
They got the spoils of war off the back of it as well. We're seeing Naf and Mixwell now on the double AWP setup.
They picked it up. No, did they not pick it up? Or did they buy it?
No, they've got the second AWP buy it. Fully committed to that, obviously, off the back of that round win. But now North probably going to go back to their classic play, the aggressive hit towards the bomb site. Naf actually slows them down instantly, though. That's a massive frag. You take down Config to kick off the round. You keep them at bay.
Fall back, keep yourself alive. You've got all the info. You've done your job already.
Rush here, going to need to try and ward them off though as they slip their way down through drop. He actually does find the opening frag, but AZ is ready to try and trade it back. Unfortunately, there's the Tarek waiting on the other side of that wall. So he peeks around and instantly gets dismembered. Tarek keeping it going as well as he finds the second frag of the round. It's only going to take 1 bullet to take down MSL. But it's actually going to be a very high caliber round coming out the end of Naf's AWP.
It's looking promising so far. They're not scared of these Tech 9s on B. Dealing with them really well. They're kind of staying out of drop and just occasionally going in for info, which I think is the best way to play that round. Yeah, Naf peeks B long, gets the first kill, gets more info, falls right back, and Tarek's just being a menace around the smoke.
Pushing their way over early towards these aggressive faces. You can see trying to go for these peaks. Hayes actually went for the information play. AZ and Co are close by. Very up close and personal with the bomb here as well. It's down on 50 HP. This is risky, Chris.
Yeah, he's not making any presence, so it looks like they're going to pressure B as much as they can, then probably stay quiet and lurk that player towards B, whilst the other guys pressure A. Try and get that split going. Mixwell's going to have to make an initial.
Hayes definitely can trade this out.
Timing.
Oh, Hayes with the second follow-up headshot as well. Mixwell with a juicy flick as he finds the frag over on towards MSL. Magic's a solo as well, and he goes for the double face, and of course he finds it, leaving it all on config.
Hayes just picks up the second one fully white, just holding mouse one. Luck boxed it out, but great rounds by them so far.
Nice
That's what you mean about no fear on A. You've got to make sure you get those initial kills to slow any rush down. Really well dealt with.
Yeah, that was incredibly smart.
His timing there for when they're throwing the nades, he knows he's got nades in their hand, or at least drawing their gun out, just gives them that split second ahead of the T's, and he caught them both out. Mixed on the perfect position there just to back his teammate up.
That's the thing, you could just see the confidence on display there, going for these plays, which they needed to. They need to have that firepower behind them, that high octane style of CS. I mean, we spoke about them actually doing damage on their T side, but right now, their raw aim is definitely being a deciding factor on their CT half.
This is what they needed. This is exactly what they needed. They had to come out firing on all cylinders. And even Hayes is showing up 7-1. This is the thing on the A bomb site. If you're playing 2 players on A, and there's a lot of different positions and setups you can do with 2 players. And if you're constantly denying T's control and making it very hard for them to take any ground on A, you can then later on just play that one person towards A and stack more players towards B, and Cbble becomes a complete pain to kind of get your head around at that point.
The old classico here as they set themselves up. The nade's going to go over, the smoke ball goes out, try and zone out the CTs, leave them with a divided sight, bludge your way through. Now full spot them out, but he misses the opener, but it doesn't matter. Look at the amount of damage already done. TheFatRat comes in with great frags. Mixwell as well just doing damage. You see Rush going to rip his way through AZ. If you would have blinked, you would have missed that round. Such a great defense.
Crazy. I mean, that's how fast they're coming out, but they've dealt with that perfectly. Their CT side is looking crisp. I did not expect this from them. They've obviously been putting work into this map. It's showing.
Absolutely insane here for the side of OpTic. Really not what either of us expected going into this.
And it's so hard if you can't get that first player out and kind of amongst the CTs with all the flashes. If he's getting orbed every time he jumps out, you're never going to take the site. Like this, but Rush shuts him down.
Config unable to do anything here. His teammates can't trade as well because he was just that one-man army sent in to try and do some damage. Now they have to go in one by one, treacle in towards the bomb site, but they don't clear the angle, so MSL instantly taken down as well. It falls towards Magic to try and do some damage. He will find 2 headshots, and he's a little bit bloodthirsty. He's hungry for some more. As he spots out the players, you can see him barely missing with a flurry of bullets coming out of this rifle right now. But Hayes runs in, trying to do some damage over towards the A site, wants to ward off these T's that are encroaching into his domain, but he gets absolutely bodied. Falls on towards TheFatRat now to do all of it on his lonesome. It's a 1 versus 2. They are low HP, but it just depends if he can sniff them out and actually finds the frag. Sick headshot comes through, takes down Cajun, nearly the kill on towards AZ. Gets the flick on the tag, Chris, but it just wasn't enough. AZ, too hot to handle there.
Well needed around there. I mean, that was extremely close.
Oh yeah.
Config it looked a bit forced there. He jumped out, he wanted to make a play. It's the kind of play that you need to do that sometimes. You just kind of have to go. If he saw a window to do that, you can't really tell him not to. It's a split-second decision. Magisk, fortunately, able to come up with 2 quick frags towards drop. And they know at that point that they're weak on A, and they've just stormed it to A and managed to close the round up just. Mixwell, great shot there, great angle.
This is good as well. These confidence plays that come out, especially for Mixwell, where he's going for those early plays towards mid, are working against North. North seem unexpected for these very early contact plays.
Yeah, it creates so much space. As you can see now, they're fully prepared for a B take, and they've got absolute 2 players ready for this execute towards the fight area.
I'm going to peek through. Nice work.
Great right there. Save his teammate.
Yeah.
TheFatRat had his gun out and he was jumping across. He would have died if Naf didn't save him.
We're left now with a trio on the side of North. They are going to have to go for this play towards the B side. They do have a lot of names to play with here, but Magisk, he needs to be the difference maker. He's in the back line, needs to find that kill.
Yeah, he has to. He's going to be the linchpin here. I don't think they know he's here, but they're not playing drop anyway, so they're going to have sight on him at this area. Flash come in, he's still got no info where these CTs are.
The angle's covered though. they have this crossfire in position. You can see Tarek obviously backed up, ready by Rush to try and deal with this. The only thing is, if he goes in now, he might catch him with their pants down, but the flashbang, unfortunately, holds him back. He does spot out Nap as he takes him down. The rest of his teammates explode their way out towards the site. He goes double kills as well here as he takes down Rush, and they are able to recover the bomb, but they need to slip their way back through. It depends on Magix if he can go big into this round, just trying to stay alive right now, hold it in case a player does work his way through. Drop, but Cajun finds the headshot on towards Hayes, and it's all left on Mixwell. Sure, he might be a very aggressive player, someone that can really go big in these clutch situations, but this is going to be a hard task. He has got the pistol out, and he will be able to find the shot back on towards Magix. Switches out.
Oh my god!
He's so fast, and he slips his way back through. The defuse will come out.
And that's a reset. That's huge. He's the player you need. And that's exactly why. I'm surprised that Magix had so much room there, so much time to play around Generator and kind of execute and re-execute and reface without getting smoked off. Normally if you're playing that leave drop alone, you're going to save a smoke for Jenny when they take it and force them out the window. Much easier way to deal with it. But yeah, after all that work they put in, still goes Mixwell's way.
Absolutely crazy. And that's just that retake potential.
And they must be heated right now because they've paused.
This is the thing. Tactical timeout does come out, obviously, for the side of North. They're going to want to try and talk things through, see what's going on. Meanwhile, on the side of OpTic, they're going to be riding this high. They're looking good. The double AWP setup's been coming into effect. Mixwell, obviously, he is so powerful with a weapon. He's got a lot of prowess. When he wants to really bring his A game to the table as well and place this loose style of CS where it's unexpected, that's where he's going to nip you in the butt. You're not going to be ready for it. Yeah,
and they've even decided to go with a double AWP here. Even more kind of firepower and making sure that they're going to take advantage of the T's not having great money. They're just going to be peeking all these long angles, making sure that these pistols can't get up and close. It's deciding what to do now. Again, the money's not great, so you're just going to see a flash explode, something. Try and bait as many nades as possible, play it slow, don't get warped, and then try and just overwhelm your opponents. Hopefully catch someone reloading, maybe throwing a nade, and that's your only way you're going to try and get a bomb down there.
So they're going to go for that fast burst play. Work their way through, go contact. He go through the smoke, burst out off the back of the flashback. Tarek, he's in a prime time position. They don't actually spot him out. He finds one frag before they're able to trade it back, and now it's on Naf to try and do some damage. Of course, Rush holds the angle as well, so they're pent in. Even though they've slipped their way out, they are just waiting to be shut down. It's a hat trick coming out from Naf, one after the other, as he just rips his way for everyone in front of him.
Ding, ding, ding. Just Naf, Naf, Naf. Beautiful. I honestly did not expect this from OpTic. This is the polar opposite of what I expected. I mean, same as the last game when we casted Space Soldiers. It's just going opposite to what I'm expecting to happen. And I'm really, really surprised. It's really actually pleasant to see that they drew the CT side so much.
Well, early pick as he scopes his way through. Going to see him come through mid. Picks as well. They're completely unaware of the position play of Hayes as he slips his way out. Going to find two frags fairly easily. Cbble also going to try and fire back a little bit. Does find a headshot as he leaves himself now with just him and his teammate in Magix remaining. Magix will find the entry towards the B bomb site, but unfortunately he's been sent off to the burn with Chris. So it's all on Cajun in the backline, actually making the best out of a very awkward situation as he starts to claw this round back. Leaves himself hoping to make a 1 versus 2 possible. Nades Mixwell down to 50 HP. Rush on 100. They have so much utility to play with. And they've got the kits, but he finds a headshot back onto his Rush as well. He peeked straight into his crosshair.
This would be huge if he gets his ball through.
It's very possible. It's on the cards right now as there is still time to play. If smoke goes down, he's got 50 seconds as well. So a full rotate's possible, but the mind games are going to come to effect, attempting to lampoon him.
Mixwell's one of the most intelligent players, so let's see if we can get a read on the situation.
Is he going to fall for this? Will he rotate off? He actually is. Starts rotating off, but a little bit of an apple crumble comes out. It's getting served up.
Free. That was his opportunity. If he messes this up now, he's going to be kicking himself.
That should have been it right there. He should have found the frag. He should have been able to shut down the round. Now Mixwell waiting. Eagle eyes, looking like a hawk, ready to strike his prey. He will begin to reposition though. Waiting to hear the audio cue. Cbble hoping to bait him out of the plant. Is going to tap, but no commit. As he still just waits, clearing these angles. You can see both of these players on edge about trying to go for it. The double plant as well. Still hoping to bait him through. Smart Vic. He was ready for it.
Round.
Slips over.
Huge
takes
round
it down.
by Cajun there. They're really going to need that one. Magix is going to be fired up now. He's going to be screaming. He's going to be like, come on. And that's what they need. That's when they really, really get going. And those are the kind of rounds that are going to turn it for them.
Yeah. Massive plays there.
That player connector is going to be so tilted that 2 people on A, yet he still got close and through that smoke at the connector door. It's just so hard to play A when they're coming from side alley and mid. You just kind of crossfire completely. It's completely T-favored.
Slowly making their approach here.
Money not looking great, and they've just absolutely forced. So they're probably going to do another B split with this. It's the best thing you can do with not great money. Get up and close from drops. Gonna cut you, kind of rotate in 2 when you come through that way. And with the SMGs, run and gun.
Make their way down, encroaching. That's that CT side control as they slip through and towards drop down. Rush is ready to try and hold it if they want to go out and through connector. The flashbangs come over, the nades will interject towards the site, and this is it. This is where things are going to get real. Dive their way out through the smoke, but instantly TheFatRat finds the headshot. TheFatRat, he's been so effective at defending towards this B bomb site, but they have to go for the second.
He was on his own. Yes.
Now for the double kill. Points the hat-trick through the smoke, as well as eventually he is going to find this frag. The connects the headshot towards Cajun, leaves them in a 3 versus 1 where it's just AZ left, trying to stay alive at this point. Trapped over by Block. They're completely aware of his location. It's going to be a nade to blow him out.
Yeah, they had a complete read on what was going to happen there. Absolutely huge amount of damage coming through. Just spraying the smoke even. Just where's the choke? Where are the plays coming from? I love playing 2 towards plat because you can hold drop from plat and you obviously can hold plat from plat. But it just makes sure when you've got 2 around the stairs area, maybe lower stairs or around the block area, it's much harder for the T's to just kind of overwhelm you by rock and sight. The angles are just more favourable for you if you hold stairs. And that's how they're playing it, and I really, really like that style.
Yeah. Must be soul crushed as well for North. I mean, they've been so many rounds where their economy's been just devastated that they haven't been able to get an effective
OpTic's having a really hard time. Last round, I think he went a bit too soon. He kind of was out on his own. 5 seconds before his team were even ready. Now he's just caught a grenade to the head.
Rush as well with the double dink on there towards AZ, just shutting
looking crisp, isn't he?
Yeah, really doing some damage right now. Rush playing absolutely out of his mind. Cajun gives himself away as well, struggling to actually find the kill, but at least he will get 1 for his troubles. But TheFatRat can trade it back, leaving it just on, of course, MSL, the in-game leader for the squad. Man, needs to try and make something happen here, but it's so unlikely. You can imagine it's going to be a matter of time before he gets taken down. That nade nearly actually clipping him as well. Has the full back of just 20 HP. He's got nothing to play with. Only the Tech 9 and armor. Might as well just interject.
He's just going to try and get the kill at this point.
You want to just hope for the best. It isn't meant to be.
Yeah, straightforward round there. Rush had to get those kills at drop. If you missed those headshots, it's awkward because your M4 will dink them at close range, but the Tech 9 will one-shot you. For him to hold that angle and be so precise with that is crucial, because the second you miss a bullet and you take one to the head, you're dead. So it's very well played by him.
Yeah, that's that confidence factor as well. You can see he's not scared about actually playing up close and personal against those pistols in those high octane rounds.
They're taking a lot of pauses. They're really unsure of how to approach this. It's not something they've seen. Maybe they regret banning Mirage.
That's the thing, obviously they did overcome OpTic on Mirage the last time they met, but it was a very close matchup. This time around, it's just a dominant matchup from OpTic.
They've been reset twice. They can't get any eco rolling. They've been really close to resetting the CTs, but they just keep going through these great CT setups and getting multiple frags.
Oh,
Hayes has got all this info here. He's heard that rush. He's communicating to his team now.
That is so smart. Plays around the smoke as well, Chris, so you can just snick him for the backstab as well. So absolutely amazing stuff. Look at him. He gets away with it for free. We'll shut down Cajun. They're completely aware it's the A site. You can see they called that mass rotate early as well. Just keeping 1 player situated towards B. Rush comes in with another fabulous frag. It falls on Hayes there to just keep AZ pent in, essentially. They know where he is. They're not going to allow him to do damage. Meanwhile, Nap, who's stuck around on B site, is going to find that kill onto the lurking Magis. And AZ just hoping that he's going to get away with at least something in this round. You know, a redemption frag, anything to make his life a little bit better. Because right now, he's not going to be able to achieve anything. He's pent in, the backstab's there waiting for him to try and backtrack towards B. No matter what he does, every angle is covered.
That was all Hayes there.
Yeah.
Just got all the info. Great aggro play with that smoke. You let one player walk past him. Completely outplayed. Last round now, the half. It's looking really, really, really promising for OpTic.
Yeah.
North are not showing up at all. Conflict's been really quiet for their star player, their highest rated player. Don't often see it against teams that he thinks he can absolutely crush, who will just take the fight.
For this aggressive play towards B, they want to try and hit them hard and fast into this final round of the first half. They do get up close personal to the smoke, waiting for the moment to dive through, but Tarek tries to go for the counter play, pushes his way back through, he's in their backline, they're completely unaware of what's going on. Tarek rips his way through two of them, and then it's going to be naff to shut down the other people on the site. But just this ridiculous confidence stuff on display.
He was like surrounded by terrorists, and they were all getting flashed, and he wasn't catching any of them. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy how he's wormed his way through those players there.
Yeah, massive stuff. And there's going to be more to come after this short break. Welcome back. I mean, unexpected stuff today, right? Every match we've seen has been either an upset or just something ridiculous.
And really one-sided sides. Like really one-sided. A lot of money resets, no one can really get a lot of traction. It's just one team taking control and running with it.
Yeah, and that's what we saw once again as well. If you've only just joined us, OpTic have just had one of the most dominant first halves we've seen in a very long time. Ripping their way through, absolutely crazy scoreline. 13-2. North on the receiving end of what could quite possibly be an incredibly fast game here if OpTic pick up this pistol.
If OpTic pick up this pistol, North are in a lot of trouble here. They've already got all of the momentum. They've done the hard part now. Yeah. Let's see what they can do pistol round. I'm not sure what they're going to do with this nade. They've got nade, flash, smoke. Normally you see like a molly or something, but it looks like they're going fast A.
Config. A lot of information off the back of that play. You can hear those audio cues of the pit power in their footsteps. They are going to go for the fast play up, actually, as they work their way around. Slow down a little bit now. And this is the thing as well. If we touch on the odds here, of course, when we looked at it going into this, if you did have that bet on OpTic, you're going to be very happy if they're able to work their way through.
Yeah, if you're picking up a bet with OpTic and they're cashing in, you've just made a lot of bank. Odds were great for them. And they've changed. You see how much they've swung?
Yeah. It is crazy in the difference maker here. Now, set themselves up. Flashbang does go over, and this is going to be their time to go for the execute. They're going to work their way out. AZ's trying to hold them back. AZ stays alive for an incredibly long time, does a lot of damage, but he doesn't actually get any frags. It's going to be Config and MSL to try and find the kills as they get left in a 3 versus 3. That trio of OpTic gaming players trying to just encroach their way on towards that A bomb site. Naf, unfortunately, is going to fall. MSL, he's in that up high position, has his team at covering him as well, and Cbble is in the rear. They're in such a good spot to try and regain control of the round. TheFatRat, 1 HP, somehow he's still alive, but he could definitely do a little bit of damage here as the bomb goes down. Mixwell's going to be the one to get it planted. Peeks out, hoping to find those easy headshots with the USB. Struggling a little bit as he gets knocked down to 6 HP. Has to just fall back into the backline, hope to stay alive. But Cajun will overwhelm him and the defuse comes through.
They had to get that one. They had to get that one. That's crucial. I mean, Naf completely deleted Config with that grenade. The thing went towards the back of Van, just wiped him off the face of the earth. They managed to go fast up side alley and catch those players off, but it just wasn't enough at the end. MSL managed to stop the bomb getting to the A site and slow everything right down.
With the investment here as well, you can see quite lax in the SMGs. They're going to try and play for range with those famishes actually on Magix and Config.
Yeah, they got the bomb plants, so they're going to keep it light on the T side.
Yeah.
It's going to be a flash explode somewhere. They're probably going to wait for all the nades, try and pressure the map, make sure the CTs don't have a lot that can just wipe these non-armored terrorists away from the server. Let's see where they group up and hit.
That's the thing as well, as you were touching on there with the utility. If they can burn as much utility as possible, waste as much economy into these rounds, because they've got a whole...
It's all money.
Yeah, they've got a whole minute 20 left to play with. They've invested nothing apart from that single flash and a couple of upgraded pistols. You might as well waste as much of your opponent's cash as you can.
Exactly. If you're just rushing straight drop, it's good fast play.
Or ever try to burst their way through. AZ actually starts to tear him down. Gets a little bit crazy here with the UMP, of course, and finds a final frag on towards Naf.
Nicely dealt. That can turn upside down really quick. But yeah, like you said, when you're in a round like that and you just want to get over quickly because you've got nothing really to work with, it's a bit counterproductive because essentially you're just feeding yourself to the SMGs without trying to burn any of the money off the CT players.
Yeah.
If you can just use all of the time in the round to try and waste some of that money on the CTs, you're going to have a lot more chance of breaking the economy later down the road.
That's the thing, CT side economy can be so fragile, and those nades are so vital on this map, so if you haven't got them to play with because you've had to waste them on a previous attempt, you don't have the cash to rebuy, and it's going to really come back to bite you.
Because they got the bomb down, obviously, the first round, they got for a pretty good AK buy. Not the greatest utility, but they've got enough smokes and flashes to make a nice execute here. Again, they're probably going to play this slow, work the map control. Once you get a map control on the A side, you can do a lot more fake executes and try and manipulate the rotates in your favour and then go heavy towards one side. The bomb's going A here, so that molly was perfect timing. They flashed and the molly came out straight away before the flash.
Very good read there.
Config just smelt something a little off.
This thing as well keeps Config alive, and he's still in position, still hunkered down with that AWP. This time around, Hayes doesn't actually have his trio of teammates to go in with as well. He's going to actually an entry on his own. Config, smart play, drop smoke instantly, try and backtrack, but he gets caught off guard, doesn't bloom fast enough, and they've got a little bit more map control now. AZ up close, but they go for the pre-fire as well. Hayes finding that second frag.
That's crazy by Hayes, that he's just... I mean, you'd think he's not stopped. Hayes is just still going.
Yeah. Still working his way through. It's another frag. He shuts down MSL. Just the aggression on display as MSL was hoping he could catch him off guard a little bit. Nice for Magic, actually. The Famous, a weapon you don't see as much as maybe you'd like right now as he starts to whip it out. Finds two very nice frags, just going with a pitter-patter of that Famous. Cajun B coming in with a rotate as well from behind. Cajun could be massive into this round. Really could be a critical factor as he finds the headshot over on towards TheFatRat, leaving it all on Rush. Rush, he's had a couple of good rounds. He's been looking fairly effective. He's been an artist at the AK. At times, it just depends if he can step it up right now. They're using a lot of utility as well. You can see a little bit paranoid. They're not quite convinced of his location. So Rush, he's going to be using that to his advantage. Stay himself hunkered down, wait for them to push to him, wait for them to make the first mistake. But will he find their headshots? He finds one, but of course the trade comes in. It's Magis off the back of a hat trick.
The day. Hayes literally won them that round there. He rushed up there, got two entries, one through smoke, caught the AWP with his pants down. And they've still managed to lose that. Magis with that great Famous work from Balclair. If he doesn't pick up those two kills, they for sure lose the round. But him doing that and slowing them down for Cajun to pick up a kill in the back, bought enough time there. And what a round to win. A must-needed round. Now they can make the game look close.
Yeah.
It's a lifeline.
Absolutely vital for the economy game overall. Lose that round. Possibly going to see some more of that aggression towards B as well. You can see quite heavy on the smokes and flashes. Possibly just go for the smoke strat, divide the site off, burst your way in, force the CTs to bend, and hope that you can break them on entry.
Yep, smoke's going to come down. Rain of flashes are going to fly over as the terrorists are going out towards the Speedway area. And here they come.
Oh, this is one of these angles we're talking about. If you don't clear them, they're so effective. A bit of a blind spot. Majesty in a prime time position, but he actually wants to try and encroach a little bit further, take a fight towards the terrorist. Finds the opening headshot and a little bit of a tag as well, but he is fairly low. He needs to stay alive in this scenario. We'll give away a weapon for free, but the second frag comes through, and the third. MSL as well. A frag over on towards Rush, and they're just tearing their way through. No chance for OpTic to use those Tech 9s in close range.
Yeah, it's looking much better so far. You see the TheFatRat trying to get out early, get into that broken wall, get behind enemy lines. You see it so often, it's so hard to deal with when they do flood through that area. So to get that first guy and deny him that space is really big. Yeah. They even flashed once so he could get out on his own, and then they were going to re-execute with him out, and him maybe come through the smokes. But fortunately they managed to catch him and shut it down completely.
A lot of early utility used there by North, of course, expected potentially an aggressive play. They don't want to allow OpTic to get any early game advantage if they do want to go for a power play over towards Broken Wall there. So a lot of early investment coming out.
It's a test of will now. This is where they're really going to struggle when they don't have that. What's the best thing we can do with our limited utility?
Yeah.
What's going to give us the best win condition? And people like that are going to help. When TheFatRat's feeling it, when TheFatRat's not afraid to take fights, he's your man. He needs to kind of rely on a lot, I think, this team. Especially T-side.
Moving on now off the back of that. He's got the height. Oh, beautiful from Rush.
That's
I was
great.
about to touch on the fact that MSL's critical in that role. He needs to find those frags to slow him down. But down they have so much map control. Go for the pin to play towards the A. Bombs up the fingers config. P250 in hand. He is slaying people. As he peeks out, takes down Rush, has the AWP in there as well, so he can try and ward them off. But the thing is, they are divided. The A bomb site is now pushed into. The AWP is very useful from the position he's in, but it's that paranoia. He knows there's someone behind him.
He knows there's someone dropped. It's so often that people will lurk this area, and he probably won't commit until his team have either cleared it or this guy's died.
TheFatRat, he doesn't have to make a play. All he's got to do is try and stay alive essentially at this point, unless he needs to rotate if something goes down towards the
It's going to be all on Magisk. He has to create some space now and make an opening.
He's in a good position to actually execute from those. He works his way up, finds the opening frag down towards Hayes. This allows actually Config to try and do some damage as well. And TheFatRat gets overconfident. You have to push through.
Waited.
He had to try and assist his teammates, and it's all on that. You can see looking a little bit scared right now as he works his way around the site. Going to hear him flooding towards him. He finds the headshot, but it's one Config. Has the kit to play with, but I think it's just short.
It's close.
This should be a round for OpTic. Oh, matter of milliseconds to play with there. 0.3.
Jesus. That's insane. I mean, what way to win the round? That's literally the only way to do it. Magisk has to make the guy come out of drop. Yeah. The only way of doing that is killing the people on A. And Config was ready for that guy the whole time.
That's the thing that you can see, at least with Config, didn't go right. I'm going to try and go for that pick today. Didn't want to make a play individually. Knew his role critically. Held towards that drop-down push. Made sure he got the frag on towards TheFatRat, then went for the retake.
This is crazy. They keep getting this bomb down, and they've got the player advantage, and yet North is still pulling these rounds through out of nowhere.
It's that North teamwork in those retake scenarios. You can see they are very clever. They know how to complement each other. No risk taking at all.
Know their timings very well. Know when to peak when pressure's being applied on the other side of the map.
Oh yeah. Oh, hazy as well.
The Americans are speeding out.
This could be dangerous. Actually finds the opening headshot though. Config doing damage as well, just ripping their way through everyone. And you can see the amount of crossfires they have set up here. Oh, hazy's going to be caught a little bit of a fumble. Will do a little bit of damage, but luckily enough, Config's there to respond. They do lose 2 weapons, but 2 casualties at this stage isn't too bad for North. They have the money to rebuy into it.
I think that's a little bit of frustration showing there. I mean, what they've been doing so far has been working to some extent. They've been getting the bomb down, they're having the player advantage. They're just not able to close the round out. Sometimes the strat is right, but you just die. It's Counter-Strike. Sometimes you just die. I think they need to stick to their guns, make sure that they're staying methodical, getting their player advantage, getting the entries and making smart executes there. If they're just going to blind straight rush, they're going to lose this game and throw it away. But that's what I said about the T side. They don't have that person that can really give that insight and give the right mid-round call.
there's not as much structure. I mean, you look at this right now, the difference is North had a lot of structure in their T side, it was very methodical, we saw classic executes, time in, time out, whereas for OpTic, it's a lot more puggy. You're seeing that slow default, play for picks, work your way through. If we get an opening, we'll play off that. 2-2-1. Just trying to play like that. But it's not working for them. North, they're not going to allow you to get those early frags. They play for information, they'll hold back. I mean, Config on the confidence play for this one as well will actually shut down Rush, but they still have so much map control, and you're already in a deficit.
That was ridiculously close as well. He's got like a 6th sense, I swear, this guy.
Config's playing phenomenally on his CT half. He's really stepped up his game. Incredibly smart.
He's just going to keep peeking people. This is what you don't want to happen. This is exactly what they needed to stop. They were making the right calls. It's just unfortunate that they've lost all these clutch rounds.
Yeah, that's all it's been. It's been the clutch play.
Config's just raining in frags with this AWP. He doesn't care.
3 kills to his name into this round. TheFatRat, the last man left standing for the side of OpTic. I mean, he has scavenged a weapon, but there's no chance of him picking up this round.
If he picks up this round, he's a genius.
There's no reason for North to open up the opportunity. Magic as well, long range kill with that M4 as he rips his way through. A couple of long range taps and we'll take him down.
Look at the scoreboard. They are seriously... Look how many bombs have been planted and defused. All these rounds they had the player advantage, yet North have been coming up huge with their clutches and those retakes. OpTic looking really shaky now, and they can feel this game falling through their hands.
Slowing down a little bit on the side of OpTic though. Set themselves up towards that B play, it seems, as they want to go for that mid control as well. Not going to be pushing in. They're going to be holding for the play to come out from North. This is a lot smarter, but look at the stack.
Yeah, it's a lot more default. Like I said, when you've got so many CT plays that you're making on the A side, you can always just leave one guy there. They're more than happy to leave on. That nade is incredible!
So clever.
I've not seen that. That's so sick.
The double boost on top of tree with a hat-trick grenades, that is so smart. The grenade
See how much damage they did?
That was amazing.
That's next gen. That's an EU nade.
That's actually incredibly clever. This completely defunks a lot of the round
Look
as well.
at those nades on the body.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
Oh my god.
I love stuff like that when they're just innovating and making new things that no one's ever seen before. I swear now other teams will copy this.
I haven't seen that play. That was a very, very flamboyant play. Very smart stuff there, obviously. The grenade bouquet with a double stack on top of a tree. TheFatRat, though, he's going to be a little bit annoyed off the back of that, wants to try and claw it back, and we'll actually find the headshot as it takes down MSL. They're now going to be trying to make their way through as well. Magis, you can see he's hot on the tail. We have got the scent, but TheFatRat just pushing his way through. TheFatRat's been able to cause a reign of terror as he storms his way through.
And he's going so fast, he's not being flanked.
Magis there, but he's miles out of position. Luckily enough, he's going to catch Rush on the cross. Goes for the spam as well, so they're completely aware of the positioning. It's a 3 versus 3, but they need to take down Config. Him on the site. The only thing is, that AWP isn't going to be as effective in this close range. He's got to use the Tech 9. He needs to be able to find the frag. Struggling, and 2 kills are going to go the way of OpTic. They leave it all in the hands of Magic. He was the late round rotate. He was the man that was supposed to shut down TheFatRat and stop this round from getting into the situation it's in. Now, he needs to do the unthinkable and claim it back. He's got the kit, but he's got no nades to help him. There's 2 players incredibly low on the side of OpTic, but they have no reason to peek. They're in great plants.
I mean, they've already given up too many of these clutch rounds. I doubt he's going to get this one, but he's been so good on these retakes so far.
Wasn't meant to happen. Hey, instantly.
That's better now. Don't just peek mindlessly, wait, hold your crossfires. Finally, they've managed to get a T-sided round after all of those bomb plants. And the CTs have no money left after this. If they can win this round and money break them, this is going to be huge. This is a huge round now. This could decide the game.
Yeah. See Config actually going to go for the Mag 7 as well. You see a little bit of an aggressive up close and personal play. Actually quite an aggressive weapon. If you play in those close angles, you get that one tap into the head. Massive open.
Yeah, you can shoulder peek as well. Just take those shots. You don't even have to sit in the AK spraying at you. Just keep shoulder peeking and just plucking away at the T's when they're getting close to you. It's a really difficult weapon to play against.
Yeah.
I mean, you see JW doing wonders with it around the drop area.
That's the thing. Those close choke points where you get the initial peak, incredible.
And you can kind of use it all over on this map. It works at plat. You can go broken wall. Like you see, it works really well here, even around the matrix area, and also around drop, like I said.
Oh, you can see as well, just holding close in the angle. We're going to go for the tight peak. He hears him coming, so we're going to try and play for the information first. Expected the flashbang to come over. This is going to be huge to place the back of it. Oh, it's a nice tag, but unfortunately no frag actually going to come through today, so AZ forced to fall back, at least the smoke's there. And this is great as well, that smoke slows OpTic down so much in this scenario. They really can't play for anything. Magic's meanwhile over a drop down.
That's a huge play by Magisk, and that's exactly what they should have accounted for. When you've got the player advantage and you know the CTs are going to be making plays, that's when you need to be holding, and mistakes, you can't give away these free frags.
Yeah. AZ trying to fall back towards the bomb site. A little bit of attack coming out, but unfortunately it's not anything to write home about. But MSL's the one that's doing damage. He found the frags over on toward Naf, but it's 1-for-1 now as everyone gets taken down. Taric on the bomb site, 35 HP to play with up against Cbble. The retake AWP. We've seen it happen before. We've seen Cbble do damage in this situation, but can he time out? This is the flip flow. Lands attack with a USP. He knows how low he is. Surely the call has been made in this situation that Taric has taken a hit, but Taric peeks up, smashes his cranium straight in with the AK-47. Whoa, that's the 15th round secured.
Taric's insane. He's been playing nuts this game. Yeah. What a round to win. Look at the CT economy now. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. This could be OpTic causing another upset.
That'd be ridiculous if they take this. And it's the way it's shaping up. You look at this round here, it's going to be so hard for North to be able to defend.
We can't count them out though, they're so good with the pistols.
Yeah.
And Config's, again, just playing absolutely fearlessly. They've got all the info here. Hopefully they get a quick rotate towards B, hold this off.
That's the thing, they know this is a full commit to that B bomb site. He gets all the information from that aggressive stance he's taken. Surely they should be a little bit prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 4 players towards the B area. Even Config's falling off of A now. They know it's coming.
They need to be ready to do some damage. Cajun close by the broken wall there with the support of his teammates. Smoke's going in to try and throw them off a little bit. Smoke actually landing on top of a tree as well as they are ready to execute. But the timing with the flashbang, unfortunately, might have to turn away. Cajun in the back line should have done more damage than he did, but he didn't get away with anything. AZ luckily starts to go huge with that CZ, but it's MSL to connect the headshot over on towards Hayes, leaving them in a 2 versus 1 all of a sudden as Taric finds the frag on towards MSL, leaving it all on Config. He has been the clutch machine. He's been fabulous in these scenarios, but it's going to be so hard. Entries into the site, shuts down Taric, but of course, Naf, you can't quite overpower him. 16-9 is the scoreline. OpTic Gaming take the win on an absolute clown fiesta of upsets that are being happening today.
I mean, that round was an absolute explosion. They should have been able to hold more than they did. The crossfire there at the broken wall, the flash was perfect. They managed to get out. As soon as they're out, you don't get that first kill, that's when you're in a lot of trouble, and you saw it there.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild. I mean, we look at things there. It's just ridiculous how that game has gone. Ripping their way through. You've got to give it to sort of... I mean, we look at things overall for the side of OpTic. Taric was incredible in terms of...
It's insane.
Taking
an incredible game
that he should have never have won. Just off the back of confidence and just taking people down.
And that last clutch he did where he's just crouching into the face of North and managed to headshot him before he can even react. He was looking incredible. Mixer, again, a great performance by him. A huge clutch. What a great round. Their CT side, 13-2. Look at this round. Look how flashed they are. And he's just... Okay. I'm at the back of them now, guys. Don't worry. What a crazy half. I was not expecting that at all. I was actually expecting the opposite scoreline here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous the way it's gone. I mean, that's the thing, though. With this matchup, it was just clutch play. That was all it was. It was clutch play that just really changed the tide of the game. Absolutely switched things up. And it was that huge buffer. I mean, OpTic, they built themselves enough rounds to play with off the back of their CT half. Yeah. Even though they were struggling, I mean, you saw it. It looked like good beginnings at the start of their T half. It looked like they've got a lot of interest in the decision making.
The T side wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The T, a lot of rounds, you can see the scoreboard, it's hugely in favour of North, but a lot of the rounds are like 3v2s, 4v2s in favour of North, yet North, in favour of OpTic, sorry, yet North managed to pull it through and get these crazy rounds in. They shouldn't have really made that mistakes, but they had such a buffer from their incredible CT side, like you said. They've managed to close the game out. It could have been even more one-sided if those clutches didn't come down from North. And
that's the thing, we saw a really close pistol as well going down to the wire. If there would have been a couple of more, you know, a couple of different decisions here and there that could have changed the side of this game entirely. And it's just, it's ridiculous to think that's how it's gone. It was that dominant, just purely off their CT hide, just being so fabulous.
A great individual performance from Mixer and Taric. What more to say? I mean, two crazy halves. Space Soldiers just T-side storm through SK, and they make that really close 16-14. You see it here. The The CT side, absolutely huge by OpTic, just crushing single-sidedly one-sided. These Europeans are getting hammered right now.
Yeah, it's crazy how this game has gone. I mean, obviously, this is what we're seeing. It seems that right now it is just the groups of upsets.
Yeah.
Loads of just wacky results coming out. Incredible talent is really the only thing you can say about that matchup. That was the difference maker, and there is still more to come. This is the end of this matchup. It's the end of me and Chris for now, but Hugo and Harry will be back with the next exciting game after this short break.